record.
I do this thing where I turn your mic down.
Oh, that's because I'm a little bit louder than a normal human being?
No. See, it's set up for 2 mics right now.
Oh, okay.
But when I'm talking to Anthony, when you're not here,
Oh, you set mine down instead of
I turn yours all the way down.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you get this weird like repeat echo thing because
Yeah.
it's now being picked up by 2 mics. I don't know. It is what it is. All I'm saying is it sounds better when I turn your mic all the way down when you're not here because you're not here.
Look at board the bin operator.
Board the Ben.
Wow, holy shit, my dyslexia just went crazy right there. Yeah, Ben the board operator. Holy fuck. See? And I want you to
That's
know
like Thomas the Train, but
that happens all
Board the Ben.
that happens a lot with me.
Yeah.
Like it's never happened. It usually never happens in public, but sometimes like
are you better or worse after you smoke?
I don't really think that matters, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because I'm usually when I smoke, I'm sharper and I'm more
I-
aware. Like
Which is a strange thing.
it
too.
is strange. Like it's almost like giving me like a temporary superpower where like everything shuts off and I can actually fucking which is why I smoke before we podcast all the time because it's just easier for me.
I think it just dulls the anger. That's
That as well. That as well.
You're like your banner. I'm always angry.
Yeah,
Vibe.
one podcast we're going to dedicate solely to how much I fucking loathe, despise, and hate how people operate and maneuver around speed bumps.
Oh, please go ahead.
No, I can't do it now. I can't do it now. Okay,
Can we?
I prayed to Jesus this morning. I can't do it now.
Can we discuss? It's you walked into my
9:30 in the
house
morning.
around like 9:30 this morning,
Yeah.
chomping on what looked like a brownie with colored
It's
like
called
M&Ms. On
it's
top.
called the greatest ice cream sandwich that you can buy out of a store, and you need to put some respect on the M&M brand, sir.
But what I'm getting to is you were having an ice cream sandwich for breakfast on a Saturday morning.
That's correct, because I'm a grown ass man who puts up with a lot during the week, so I'm entitled to do whatever the fuck I want on the weekends, buddy.
You could do it during the week too. Let me.
I
Just
do.
Let me just float that by you.
A 6-pack.
There's-
A 6-pack
there's-
lasts me most of the week. I have one a day. One a day.
Oh,
One
well,
day.
so we're exposing. So you were pretending like this was a weekend thing.
Well, I usually don't eat it for breakfast. I usually wait till later in the day as like a kind of like a reward. But I woke up today and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I want my sandwich.
Don't cheat yourself. Treat
Yeah,
yourself.
exactly.
Every day.
You and AJ have done.
You're like the reverse rock. Instead of having a stack of pancakes on a Sunday with a jar of peanut butter and like a movie and a boner, you do it every morning. So, yeah, listen. There's less accountability
Yeah.
doing it in the work truck than walking into my fucking house. Listen. There's all kinds of accountability when you float dirty food past me. You know, like that meme where have you seen that picture? I've used it once or twice, maybe not enough for you to be familiar, but it's like someone's taking a picture of DDP from like a little bit of a distance in a restaurant, and he's kind of like leaning over, like out of the booth, looking at the person taking the picture at him, and I put underneath, DDP sees you eating that, and I've said that to Anthony a couple times.
That's why I've probably never seen it because Anthony.
Because I do way more fat shaming to him than you.
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of fat shaming,
You guys are back at it.
Yeah, I mentioned it to you before the podcast that he and I have restarted our. Let's just call it until it's not the annual weight loss competition. 2 years straight, right around the same time.
Year 2, Fat Boogaloo.
I think I almost want to take a shot and call him and bring him in for this. But we have both gotten back. Yeah, let me just take a shot here.
So this was announced in the last furlough files that was uploaded.
The last 2 we've been working on.
Okay, so if you guys want to refer back to those furlough files for all that nonsense,
We did official weigh-ins. Embarrassing.
official weigh-ins. You fat fuck.
What do we got?
Fucking A, man. You're back to 270.
Almost.
Almost.
Oh, close. It was close.
Yeah.
Almost. When you have to say almost, just give up.
I mean,
So you guys are doing it again. Holy shit.
Well, I mean, at some point, Ben's got to win something in his life.
I feel like that ship may have sailed.
2020 was a bad year for Ben and winning.
I think like the only reason I'm doing this is for the for the clicks. I'm not sure I have a real shot of winning because you seem to cheat all the time on these things.
Oh,
Cheating. Oh my God.
Wait, are you? Where are you?
I'm in bed.
Okay, because it's breaking up a little bit.
It's 9:30 in the morning, Ben. We're the only two assholes who decided to wake up.
That's not true. Sometimes he's like taking the kids to Gatlinburg or something early in the morning.
That's true.
I woke up at 4:30, but fell back asleep and just woke back up.
Well, you wake up at 4:30 every morning. It's your old man pee time.
That's exactly what it was.
And you know what? AJ's probably extra tired from all the diversity training he was going through this week.
Well, between that or being on TikTok Live for 2 hours last night with all my my single moms.
Oh my God!
Apparently, he's had an influx lately. He had like 2,000 followers join him recently.
Fucking A, man.
A lot of single moms out there.
Oh, single ladies.
Every time I think of where this ends, it's always the movie Misery. Always.
It usually is, yes.
Well, I mean, you could take the title of a movie and not have the same plot. It could just be anyone who's dated him for 2 or 3 fucking weeks.
Right.
Title that Misery.
Books could be written, sir.
What do I owe this pleasure?
Well, I wanted to bring Marco into the up to date on the last 2 Furlough Files, where we have he is now involved as the as he's usually the grandmaster of ceremonies,
commissioner,
when it comes to the final weigh-ins for our weight loss competition. So I just wanted to we brought it up. I touched the subject. I figured I'd take a shot and call you. I knew you were awake because you were on you were in our group chat. To just I mean, you owe this to us just wanting to fat shame you for a few minutes, basically.
Oh my God. Ben wanted to fat shame me for a few minutes.
Yeah. And listen, you may think you've got it in the bag, but I'm
already down like 8 pounds.
Yeah, right. Listen. That's
that's diversity training.
Wait till I start.
No, because I'm not scarfing down 20-ounce steaks and eggs throughout the day.
Once a day, sir.
Ben can't afford to eat more than that, sir.
This is true. My food stamp benefits have run out.
This isn't even really a weight loss challenge. This is Ben being more conservative. This is an excuse.
Listen, you may be ahead now, but once I start mailing pizzas to your house, and not mailing, but
I got kids. They'll eat it.
Not when I put the toppings on it. You're the only one who likes toppings on the pizza.
Oh, really?
You're too fucking cheap to order me a pizza.
No, that's not true. Listen, I know what you're doing. You're trying to get me to send you a pizza. You're doing what I do.
You're too fucking cheap. You won't even order yourself a pizza.
I order them all the time. What are you talking about? Here's the thing. I will start sending you nefarious foods that only you like and not your kids that have a lot of carbohydrates. And I am going to somehow work a deal with your kids to start sneaking like sugar in your like ground beef and stuff.
Oh my goodness.
There you go. See, you don't wash your mushrooms anyways. I'll just have them put like a teaspoon of sugar in each fucking carton you order.
I mean, honestly, I don't think you can afford another loss. I mean,
I can't.
You lost 2 weight loss competitions to me. You lost the last Pizza Rumble, and I mean, you lost all of 2020 basically. So, I mean, even Seth beat you.
At what?
I don't know. I feel like I had to throw that in there.
Yeah. I think the only person Seth beat is himself lately. Marco is uncomfortably laughing over there.
Yes, that was an uncomfortable laugh.
It's not time for that yet.
He's not ready. Yeah, but
the clock is ticking, but it's not time yet.
I'm gonna at least talk to your kids about keeping an eye on you, making sure you're not like shaving points here or cheating or. All
right, Ben, you're doing a lot of cheating talk over here, buddy.
Well, hey.
I mean, if we want to really open up the door here,
whoa.
We want to do story time.
No. We're good.
Are we good?
Yeah.
Oh, we have some insider info.
Oh no, he doesn't know nothing.
Well, you see, AJ.
Whoa, come on, wait, no, seriously, don't fucking. Don't.
What do you do? What does he do? Is he lying on the way?
Okay. All right. No. Ben.
Oh, God damn it.
We're all right.
All right. Probably lying on his waist, probably 245 and not 239.
Well, why would I lie why would I lie and say I'm lighter at weigh-in?
Would you order? Would you order some like skinny pills or something?
It's funny you say that.
Yeah, I know his game. Listen, you actually have to get up out of the house, put some pants on, and go to the gym.
You see, AJ, you won a rig contest last year.
It wasn't rigged.
Oh, it was rigged, buddy.
How's it rigged?
It was rigged.
What are you talking about?
You tried to rig it. It wasn't rigged on my end. I did my job. You guys gave me the weights. The winner was the least. AJ beat you.
Yeah, so...
Tried really hard. So he killed himself for almost 10 days, that final stretch, and he still didn't win.
Some Lance Armstrong shit over here, buddy.
We don't need to talk about that either.
It didn't even work. It didn't work.
So Ben's gonna beat you, or I guess Tim to beat you the true legitimate way. What's the true legitimate way? You stick your finger down your throat. I don't know what the fucking.
Well, you've kind of like let the cat out of the bag. I mean, you've kind of hinted to my cheating here already. I don't know if you.
To cheat and not win has to really burn your ass.
Oh, he was not happy. You weren't here, but I got to see it up close. It was wonderful.
All right, I'll fess up to this.
You don't have to fess. Okay, Ben's gonna fess up.
I'll fess up to it because since you brought it up, I did.
Since I brought it up,
you brought it up.
You were talking about him cheat. Don't cheat. I want to make sure your kids don't cheat. Come on, man.
I may have gotten some PEDs from Seth.
Sugar pills. We found out they're probably sugar pills.
They probably were.
They were sugar pills. Just like everyone else.
I thought they were some kind of good. What were they? Steroids? Some kind? I don't even remember what they were taking.
They were.
The Brazilian things were later, I think.
Bro, I don't know what fucking fugazi ass pills he gave you.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. It didn't work. AJ, a fat Italian beats you by just not eating.
No, yeah.
And I didn't up my meal. I was eating 3 meals a day that 10 days.
And really, oh wow. If I'm to be real, your biggest mistake, Ben, is you're doing a weight loss challenge against somebody who, like I know and AJ understands. Where sometimes, like when we were wrestling, it's like, oh, I've got a match coming up. I really got to be in shape for this. It's time to I got a month and a half. Like we did that for fucking 10+ years.
Right. It's not that hard.
It's just discipline that you have to train.
Right.
So for you to beat AJ, we got to bring out the cocaine, man. Like right. I got a guy.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'll exercise this time.
Maybe. That would require you to leave the couch, put pants on, go to the gym. That's too much work for you.
I'm looking at his weight set now. It has not moved. Probably since it's been placed here.
That's a lie. The first couple of years I lived here, they moved a lot.
Well, fuck. If you shaved, you'd probably lose 5 pounds. You look homeless.
Well, maybe I'm growing that. Maybe I'll cut the hair to shave that extra pound off that you beat me by last time.
God, you made the video and people were like, "That's what Ben looks like." I was like, "Yeah, he's kind of hideous, I know." But
Ben, did you let a lot of women there down?
I don't care.
They're
his women.
I don't know if you let women down, or I mean, I even got a couple messages from some guys.
Oh,
I let guys down too.
Just letting everyone down.
You just let the whole society down.
Whatever.
Right.
And I don't want this to be a shit on Ben episode.
It's all right. It's
why not?
It feels like it's my turn all of a sudden.
So what are the what you guys done the details? Like when are we doing the final weigh-in?
Somewhere on or around the 1st of May.
Okay.
Right.
So it's a little bit longer this time, a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll have to look at the calendar on what days the podcast land on. We tried to involve his TikTokers who all said they wanted to be like, or people that listen to podcasts all wanted to join in. But then as soon as we said you got to like register your weight with us,
all of a sudden people are like, oh, I don't want that to go public.
Yeah.
So we got. But I will say,
we got a few.
If you did check, there's a few women were like, fuck it, here's my weight.
Right.
I'm in.
Right. I mean, it's probably an extra motivator. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I said on Friday, it's not like I want to put my weight out there. Not like Anthony does.
You guys are like,
right.
You guys are starting a trend here.
Yeah, maybe.
Well,
I don't know that we're starting it. There was a big weight loss competition on the podcast a couple years ago on a little show called Joe Rogan. I'm not saying we're copying them.
No.
But we're definitely not trendsetters.
We're nowhere near that good. Okay.
Right.
But listen, the only thing that would make this sad is if when we go next year, if those same women are competing again, then it's like, oh, we're all just doing this. Right. We're gonna get in great shape for 3 days, and all right, back to binge eating.
Well, if you put the work in, it takes a full year to get back to where you were.
Right.
You don't
seriously.
You at least have like.
I put 40 pounds on from October to now.
That's
40 from October.
That's impressive. That's impressive. Don't anybody ever tell you different.
He did it in a short stretch.
Yeah.
I did it over the
short stretch.
I got back to I didn't. What did we both lose? Like 20-something pounds. I put that back on over the course of a year. You, my friend, did it in my predicted time frame.
Well,
of November to March.
When you're eating 6,000 calories a day without doing any of the gym or required exercise, that's a pretty easy feat. I could probably put 40 pounds on, if I just sat there and just started binge eating.
Can I tell you what this cocksucker walked in this morning eating? I'm sitting here making a coffee and a little water. This guy walks in eating a fucking ice cream sandwich at 9:30 in the morning.
An ice cream sandwich?
Yes, sir. The M&M's, all chocolate.
Holy shit.
Oh, it's fucking phenomenal. It's the best ice cream sandwich in the market, sir. Don't let anyone ever tell you different. It's the best ice cream sandwich. And I decided I wanted to treat myself this morning on my way over to Ben's for this podcast. So there we are.
I think you need to treat yourself to deal with me or something. Jesus Christ.
No, man. I had a long week.
He did. That he doesn't want to talk about. That's the real money is when we start talking about that shit.
Right.
Well, after one of you drops dead in a sauna bag, with a fucking trash bag wrapped around your head, we'll jump, and I get that with that.
That'll have nothing to do with the weight loss.
But with that kind of media attention, that's when we'll jump into job talk. Well, we have maximum viewership. Why would we give away WrestleMania in fucking January?
I told a good story the other day.
What?
I told a money story about.
Oh, you did. You
getting
did.
Catfish into a swinger relationship.
Jesus.
All right, Fatso.
I was gonna say you probably weren't 240 when that happened.
He was not.
No, I was like 155.
Wow.
That's what we got to get you back down to. We got to get you back down to fight weight.
My fight weight. See, back then I had less muscle mass, so it was 155. Maybe I'd be 165 now.
Less muscle mass, as if you have any now.
Yeah, actually, surprisingly, I do. I was giving my shoulders the old feely touch up last night.
Feely touch up,
and I'm like, man, I still got most of my fucking muscle under all this.
Listen, I think that lie all the time too. Where I'm like, hey, wait, I still no, I'm just horrible.
I mean, I have no strength, but the muscle's still there. Yeah. It's popcorn muscle.
It sucks. I would join you guys in the weight loss stuff, but like I'm trying to put weight back on.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah, like I told Anthony. I said I gave you the glance the other day. I was like, that motherfucker is
right.
What are you doing? Were you just using the bathroom or something?
I'm like 214.
That's my thing. I pee and shit while I'm on the podcast. Yes, I just took a piss.
Jesus Christ!
It doesn't even shock me. Yeah. I know who I'm talking to.
No, well, the funny thing is the last two with AJ, he started the first one we did, ending his shit.
Yes.
And then he ended. It was like full circle stuff, circle life. He ended the last one we did. Starting a shit. He's like, I gotta go. He was like, I gotta go.
I was like, I gotta go. I gotta go.
He was prairie dogging.
Too many of our podcasts begin with pooping,
right.
or just interrupt in the middle.
Yes.
Right.
We've put life on pause for one of those.
And then we wonder why are the numbers tanking this week? Because we talked about shit for 4 days straight.
Yeah. If we're known for anything, we're known for our pooping.
Right. That's all we got.
Dick and fart jokes.
Oh my goodness.
That's our bread and butter. All right, all right, Fatty.
I'm gonna go have a cup of coffee and I'm gonna go live.
Oh,
I gotta push the podcast.
Yeah, you do. You need to make a video. All right, buddy.
All right, goodbye.
Later.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Oh, he's out of control.
Apparently he's not.
You can beat him.
Apparently he's focused. We'll see.
You can beat him, but you actually have to get in the gym.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
So someone came by yesterday to drop something off, and I went downstairs to meet him. And when I jogged back up the stairs,
oh no,
the one little flight of stairs to my apartment,
like 10 steps,
I tweaked the fucking calf.
Of course you did.
I was like, "Ooh, did I tear that? Did I pull it?"
It's hard to tell.
Just a tweak. So yeah, I don't know. I like every day that goes by that I haven't been to the gym, and it's been quite a while. It makes the task of getting back that much more daunting. And it's kind of I'm one of those people that doesn't want to show up to a real gym where there's other people like day one
looking like that.
Not so much looking like that, but I mean like not be able to do much.
Oh
yeah.
You
know, I might as well just
your self confidence is completely shattered.
I might as well just do push-ups at home or something.
Yeah. Hey, the big three, man: push-ups, sit-ups, and squats. I mean, you can fucking do a lot with the proper diet and just that, and at least get yourself feeling better enough and strong enough to go into a gym. That's what, like, anytime I ever went into like where I knew like, oh my God, like I'm gonna take that next step and what I would do in the gym, I would spend like a week or two doing nothing but 100 a day of each, maybe 200 if I was already in shape, and it's just really good, man. Like the basics. Then you just like when you get back in the gym, you just try to keep that other regimen up, man, and you'll beat them. Listen, he's going to get out of control.
I feel like this time he's going to slip up.
Yes.
He also has a trip to New York in a couple weeks.
He's totally going to fucking...
I told him, you better really get far ahead right now.
Yeah.
Because that New York trip is going to be like that.
Yeah, there's
2
no
steps
way.
forward,
it's
1
impossible.
step back.
He does not go to New York and not gain 10 pounds. It does not happen. It's impossible.
Yeah,
He's a fat Italian in New York City. Come on, man.
It's not in his name.
He's going to the motherland. It ain't happening, bro.
Motherland is not New York City.
For food?
I mean, that's where he came. I mean, he was born there.
Yeah.
But if you're talking Italian, that's not the motherland.
No. The motherland, Chicago. We all know that.
I don't know. Jesus Christ.
So, and I only say that because like the only known like mafia connection in my family lived in Chicago.
Oh, not every Italian's mafia.
Yes, but this one was.
Oh.
My great uncle. I can't remember where his relation was. I
feel like you're Italian by name only.
I don't
think anyone in your family knows how to bend spaghetti worth a damn.
I would be probably the closest. I only met him once in my life. He came down for like 4 or 5 days to visit my grandpa when I was a kid. He was a professional bowler.
There we go.
Carmen the bowler. And most people don't have to hear anything past that to know exactly. You can picture him, but he was.
Well, anytime someone says bowler, I just picture either the dude that was like the most famous bowler ever, the one that used to do the wrestling stuff. You ever see that guy? He was like a huge wrestling mark during the Attitude Era. So he would do the crotch chops all the time and stuff. He was like the Happy Gilmore
that's fantastic.
of bowling. You know, he was like that guy. You don't know who it is.
No, because him fucking bowling.
Him, right? Yeah, but even like, listen, we've all passed by the Ocho on fucking cable and caught bowling for 5 minutes.
That's true.
So I either picture that guy or Bill Murray from Kingpin. With the comb over and the ball with the rose in it. And
no, he was just tall, lanky, like he had an impeccable suit. He spoke, that.
Did he actually bowl or was Carmine the bowler?
No, he was a professional bowler.
Like because he would cut people's heads off and roll them down the alley.
Here's the thing. I think it was both. I think he was a professional bowler who took care of business, after business hours because I was around that man for maybe an hour or two, and I went, "You've totally buried somebody in the back of a bowling alley." Like, that's happened. Whether or not that person had its head when it was I don't know and can't say, but I know. The way that you talk, the way you carry yourself, the way you dress. Yeah, okay, cool. And no one named, Carmen the bowler. It's just a bowler.
Carmen or Carmine?
Carmen.
Carmen
Salvino.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
You guys look.
That's like the feminine version of Carmine.
Carmen. Oh, no.
It's like a lady's name, isn't it?
No. Well, I guess.
Don't tell him that.
I guess. Yeah, I wouldn't. I doubt he's still alive, and if he is,
I was about to ask that.
He's probably like 99 or some shit. Right. But
listen, the only tie we have to organized crime is my grandfather grew up with a bunch of those guys in the New York neighborhood, and then when he had like businesses later in life, they helped him out sometimes. He had a leather shop that was not union workers, and I think they wanted to unionize, and he was going to go meet with some union head or something like this.
Yeah.
This story is like third hand.
Yeah,
but one of his buddies that he grew up with that was in the organized business. He said, "Let me come with you." And he's like, "All right, whatever." So when they came, to this meeting at the guy's office or whatever. You meet across the desk, you shake hands. So my grandfather did it first, and then his friend, whoever was, Joey Bentnose or whatever. He when he goes to reach over, somehow a gun tumbled out of his jacket pocket on his desk.
Somehow,
and he like apologized for it and acted embarrassed and put it away. But then negotiations went really well. Really well, and he didn't have to unionize.
That's such
his
a
shop.
slick tactic.
He didn't have to unionize his shop.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So there was like, listen, my grandfather had some money. He bought some properties, and our family still owns them. And like, I get a check at the end of every year. That's like for being like as split as it is now that we're the grandkids.
Yeah.
Getting it from my mom got a third, and now. There's 4 kids in my family and my dad. It's like half of that and then a quarter of that. I'm still getting like a $5,000 check. So it's like there's some just on the properties he bought in like Puerto Rico, New York. There's still money being generated. So he did well. I guess that business was protected through all kinds of means, nefarious and legitimate.
Everybody in life should have a Joey Bentnose at their disposal.
I think so. I mean, you've got a bowler in the family, and
I don't think he's as effective as he used to be.
I mean, we know people that aren't exactly the sunlight doesn't always shine on their businesses. Yeah. But I wouldn't call them like like gangsters or
no.
But we do know some fools with guns.
We do know a fair amount of fools with guns.
Yeah, mostly in the wrestling business.
Oh my God, dude. And
were you there for? I only know the one local story about someone pulling a gun out at a show. Were you there for that?
I was not there for that.
So I guess we shouldn't talk about.
No, I don't. Yeah,
unless you're a firsthand.
And especially with the wrestling business, if it's not firsthand, don't even bother. Right. I mean, third hand, I've heard a lot of shit, but I don't want to, start throwing people.
That's when you you start getting sued for slander.
Yeah. First hand, I've seen some shit though.
Slander's where you speak it. And libels when you write it?
Yeah. J. Jonah Jameson taught me that.
I just always just the S&S, speak and slander.
I thank Spider-Man for that.
Okay.
Because otherwise I wouldn't know that.
I didn't know that they differentiated. Or did he just use libel in their movie?
He's like, and libel is written.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. I don't remember that. That's funny.
Yeah. It's I think that it's either the first or second one. The 2 true Raimi movies. By the way, you see the set report from Doctor Strange?
What were you talking about on the other one?
Oh, do we have enough content for the other one?
Sure.
All right.
We'll talk about whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah, it's comic books. There's never not enough information on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Fuck, man. It was a long weekend. I'm just Now that I have the knowledge of your guys' weight loss, May 1st, March,
like
April,
a month and a half.
Almost 2 full months.
Almost.
Because it's like the 10th.
Yeah.
So
no, it's the 13th, but it's we're about halfway through this.
Oh, I was about to say we're literally 2 days away from my fucking birthday, and I'm thinking it's the fucking 10th.
Here we go.
No, I just realized I was like, why do I think it's so early in March? I'm like,
let's drop hints so people send them gifts.
Please don't, please don't.
Please, if you want to send him something really obnoxious and embarrassing,
do not give my address.
Something that gets him like I don't know, like in trouble with the wife or something.
No. Let's not get me in trouble with the wife. Let's let me and the wife and our perfect little happy building family continue on.
I like causing non-important.
Besides
drama.
which, all the ladies are after AJ anyway. Let them have them.
That's true. Oh, maybe the guys want to send you something.
Oh,
listen, ice cream sandwiches.
The guys no longer want to send you anything.
There's
apparently.
dry ice. There's dry. Listen, I don't want to even get into the whole. The whole how I couldn't even score free pizza when I was eating free pizzas. I tried for like 3 podcasts. I tried to get someone to send me a free pizza by pretending I didn't want anyone to send me a free pizza.
So for everyone who's been paying attention, Ben really wanted a pizza.
Don't send it now. I'm not giving. I gave my address out on like 3 different podcasts. I'm not doing it anymore.
No, you'll have to go back and torturously listen.
Torturously. How dare you?
We're like wine.
This is when Fatty McFuckface over there, my rival in the competition, will send me something, and I'll have to eat it because pizza's delicious. Yeah. And it would be a shame to leave it. Yeah. Especially since my roommate's the same as his fucking kids. Yeah. If you don't get it plain or with something stupid on it, he won't eat it. He won't eat it. Like the weirdest Jew ever. Like he won't eat like pork. I don't get it. Pork. It's not like we're 2,000 years ago and we didn't know how to fucking prepare clean food.
You would have thought that maybe our ancestors, just knowing if they knew then what we know now, that maybe they would have put expiration dates on some of these this is how you live. Like no, you're gonna live like this till 1870 when we start learning how to cure meats.
I guess. Well, I guess a lot of people can't see beyond their own nose. You know? It's still like that today. I mean, we shouldn't be driving cars with gas at this point, or have to pay huge electricity bills.
Or after watching the movie WALL-E, we shouldn't even be walking anymore.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
My little pod that just gives me everything.
You see more and more of those disgusting fat people sitting in those carts in the fucking grocery store.
And I see a lot of kids on those hoverboards, like that's their exclusive mode of transportation.
Hoverboards.
No, why they say hoverboards? They're like those either they're the 4-wheeled or they got that one-wheeled one, which I see every
like motorized skateboards.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, they call them hoverboards because they're sideways, so you're going forward. It's like a little kid Segway. Well, 2 little wheels and a platform. You haven't seen those out there?
Like a razor scooter?
Well, no.
Without the handlebars?
Without the handlebars, yeah.
No, I haven't seen those.
Oh, yeah.
But I haven't gotten out much lately.
Yeah. and you're not paying attention to any kids if you do see them. So
no.
they could be in unicorns. You wouldn't know.
Right. I don't associate with people who have kids. Yeah. So, like our time's even running out here.
Ben's waiting to give me the breakup letter.
Give me speaking of kids, since we're on the topic, give me the size chart.
Oh, we missed last week too.
Did we forget to do it?
We did miss last week, and last week was good, so we're going to go back a week.
Oh, okay. So last week, on how big is your fetus? What 3 random items is your fetus the same size as?
It's what to expect.
Yeah, I'm not using that. That's too.
Okay.
That's not masculine enough for me.
Okay, so as of last week, my baby was as big as a large onion.
A large onion. Your
baby's as big as Clark Kent's glasses.
Could I put a request if you're just because I'm stuck on onion, if did we do a gender reveal yet? We have not.
No, we have. Yeah.
All right.
A little girl.
Can you call her Vidalia?
Oh my God.
Like the onion.
Oh my goodness. No.
Clark Kent's glasses. Okay. Which is like weird. Like, does he have a certain size glasses?
Yeah, I know. That is weird. Or my baby, as of last week, was as big as a Pop-Tart.
Jesus.
Now this week has drawn a little bit like.
Listen, you could even call your daughter a Pop-Tart, but that's usually reserved to after she's earned it.
Vidalia Pop-Tart.
Oh, you just put it together.
Now this week,
float that by the wife and see what she says.
This week got me is a little weird. I feel as if they just threw things on here and they didn't even like give it any thought.
Oh, all of a sudden you feel that?
Yeah, because
not like Pop-Tart, onion, and a pair of glasses.
Because this week they go, your baby's as big as a cucumber, and I'm like, well, that is a very wide range of size. There's no like standard cucumber size.
A lot of ladies that can testify to that.
Your baby's as big as the red stapler from Office Space. Okay,
so we know what size cucumber now.
Yeah, we know what size cucumber. We
got that.
Size cucumber. Now here's where I have the real issue. Your baby's as big as a disposable camera.
Oh, like one of the Kodak ones, the yellow paper.
But I'm like, do you really have to say your incoming baby is as big as anything with the word disposable in it?
That's true.
It's just like I don't know. That should have been a little bit further vetted because this is a very this app is it doesn't take any. It's apolitical. Okay, it's just the facts.
Is that the only thing that app does?
Yeah, it's baby stuff. It just lets you know baby stuff.
Oh no, I meant is that like. I thought that might have been the only thing the app does.
No,
like tell you random sizes.
No, it also tells you what your baby's
doing. That would be funny that you downloaded something that fucking useless.
No, it tells you how the baby's doing, how the mommy should be doing, what to expect, all that stuff.
No, what the daddy how daddy should be feeling.
Daddy's not trying to get sympathy weight.
I'm surprised you haven't put on the fucking pounds. I'm a little disappointed. It's annoying that you've got like a tapeworm or something.
You know what it was, man. You know what started it all? I just started drinking those the Gatorade Zeros, and that like shed like 10 pounds off me.
You stopped drinking all them sugar drinks all day.
Yeah, I drink like 1 Coke a day, maybe.
I wish that worked for me now.
Like just cutting sugar out. Like this is where I'm at, man. Because my diet is whenever I want to eat, I eat.
Must be nice.
Yeah. This is the way it's been. It's funny because one of the guys I work with, he's 22, and he's like, "Yep, one day this tapeworm's gonna go away, and I'm gonna get fat." And I'm like, you know what, man? I'm almost 40, and I kept saying that shit. Hasn't happened yet.
You're not making yourself welcome in here anymore.
Which is why it sucks. You guys are having the weight loss competition. I really can't compete because it's like I need to gain weight, but 10 pounds maybe. Like, and that's not really hard for me, so it sucks.
Maybe you should do the reverse. Like, you should try and put on as much as we take off.
That's way harder.
That'd be funny.
It's way
like
harder.
if you just got like disgusting.
Yeah. Dude, when I was hovering around like 250, 255 of the bad weight, and I was like, why would anybody want to get fat? This is awful. This feels terrible.
But all the process of getting fat is fun.
It's so great. It's great.
It's not about...
It's the best process, if I could be honest.
Yeah.
Like not being fat, but getting fat. Like that eating and
the fattening act.
Yes, is so rewarding.
Yeah. That's the problem.
Yeah,
man.
it is.
It's like... And here's the other thing is that like I'm home all day now.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't eat because I'm hungry. I eat because I'm fucking bored. Yeah. So...
And on the flip side, you should turn that. And you should concentrate on like, hey, I'm bored. I'm going to sit down and do 20 push-ups.
David Goggins over here.
That man is not a human being.
Yeah.
I was listening to one of the Rogan podcasts over the last week or so, and I guess there was an incident where Goggins was like bleeding from a leg, or he just come back from some kind of like staph infection. And the next day he's out there running 15 fucking miles or some shit. Mm. It's like, no pain. Fuck pain. When I think pain, I want to run more. And you're like, God damn, man. Like,
yeah, you're just an asshole making everyone else feel bad.
You're like it's like anybody can match my energy. You're like, no, motherfucker, no, nobody. If chased by a lion for the rest of my life, every time I walked outside the door,
what he's doing
couldn't do it.
Is he set a like a standard for himself that he now is like. All he's doing is living in fear of not living up to that standard anymore.
Exactly.
Because then he's a fraud. And even if it's 20 years later, Then he's a fraud and a fucking, a loser and a quitter. He has now committed himself for the rest of his life to this unrealistic standard. As he gets older, is going to fuck him in the ass.
He's like Flash on the fucking treadmills. Like, he can't stop.
Yeah. I guess.
Well, it's like
I'm not sure what you're referencing.
There was a reference there. I'm like, oh no, not the treadmill.
I mean, they use the treadmills a lot, but they don't. They do stop on them.
Not the treadmill.
Once they get where they're going.
Hamster wheel.
Oh, the
hamster wheel. There was like an episode of Justice League Unlimited. They have on a hamster wheel. Some kind of torture. I think it was on Darkseid's planet, and yeah, it's just like David Goggins. Like, that's his whole thing. It's everything. It's
his brand now.
It's literally the only thing you think of when you think of David Goggins.
So you take a chunk of your leg out, and you can't not take a day off the next day, because everyone's waiting for their morning motivational fucking post from you.
That's a guy who woke up one day, saw the No Days Off poster, and went, "Fuck it."
See, let's give credit to The Rock where he's due. He's setting these unachievable goals and making all these ridiculous posts. But he also, very early on, carved out an out where he's like, treat yourself, don't cheat yourself.
Yeah.
And he's like saying, here's my cheat meal. And it's like 3 stacks of pancakes, 4 orders of sushi in front of a computer watching a fucking movie with some booze. And he's like saying, even I am going to fucking indulge every now and then. So,
you have to.
So don't get it. But it's the don't get on my ass when I do it card, where a guy like Goggins, I feel like, has set this unrealistic standard where he has to, again, with a fucking like a leg wound, he's out there running the next day, because if he doesn't, everyone's gonna be like, oh, you said this and you said that.
Yeah.
That's why we were having this. I don't know if I talked. Was it on our thread or someone talking about The Rock? And it was about the XFL, about how they were postponing the opening of the season. We were talking about it on the thread. I think they were starting to like communicate with the CFL, and they're gonna have some arrangement with them, and I don't think the CFL is starting this year. It's a whole thing, and I don't know the details of it, but it was basically like that they're putting off starting the season of the XFL. And it's like, we were talking about, like, who cares? Like, they could shelve it. Like, they could never do something with XFL again. Rock bought it. Like, bought the XFL from Vince McMahon and NBC and whoever else for like $10 million. He bought, like, the whole XFL for $10 million. So if they never relaunch it, and they shelve it, $10 million is, I don't even think that's a day's worth of income.
Yeah.
I think with all of his, like, you think about it, like, what is he's got, first of all, he's got the movies. And he's got the TV shows. And he's producers on all that shit. So it's not like he's just getting an actor check. Yeah. He's getting that producer check too. And owns the IP or whatever of like the show. I mean, the show's called Young Rock. He, that's lock, stock, and barrel like his.
And every time he appears on the big screen, that's a $30 million check.
It's more than that now, probably. I mean, he's
with back end probably.
He's training to do. Now he's training probably for stretch of movies as Black Adam.
Yeah.
With DC Comics. Those movies. They've got to be paying him close to Robert Downey Jr., if not Chris Evans money for those, because they know. Yeah. They know that he's...
And he'll get a producer credit for that, too.
He's the draw for that, not the DC Comics ties. So you got all the movies. You got the TV shows. He's got that huge Under Armour deal, which is like... I mean, nobody has... The only thing that's comparable to it, I feel, right now... is the Jordan Nike deal, which is like, again, they're not comparable.
Yeah.
But the next dramatic step down from Jordan's, the Nike Jordan brand, is the Under Armour Rock. Who else has a brand, like a sub-brand under a fucking...
Maybe LeBron.
Sports apparel thing?
Maybe LeBron?
I don't know what LeBron... Does LeBron have an apparel line or a shoe line or anything like
that?
The fact that we're asking instead of stating means a lot.
But he's the only one I could think of. Like, that kind of tier athlete. Right. Because at that point, you're like in a very, very small box.
He launched... he has that successful tequila, that Terramania. Yeah. And he just launched a fucking energy drink. Mm-hmm. Like, what the fuck? I mean, like he's doing on top of whatever else. I don't even know what else. But
he's doing all the winning Charlie Sheen talked about.
Didn't he buy into a water company too, like Cause or something?
Probably.
Yeah,
he's making all these long-term investment
moves. Which is why I'm saying like two things are going to happen. Well, two things are happening. One, he's making that $10 million a day.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not clearing his bank account.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's got partners and taxes and expenses and whatever.
But the rock economy
is pulling in that initial, that incoming, that first before it's split up and cut up. Yeah. It's got to be over $10 million a day. Yeah. And it feels like you said, he's doing the long-term investments so that like in 10 years he can stop acting.
Stop doing it. He just do producing really, and whatever he wants.
He might produce him. Listen. Have you watched an episode of Young Rock?
No.
They touch on one very simple thing at the beginning of the episode,
right,
which may be laying the seeds in people's heads.
Oh, presidency?
Maybe laying the eggs in people's heads real early.
That's right.
He's like in the show. He's doing an interview. And it's like going to be a long form, sit down interview because he's running, or he's become president. I think he's president in the thing or something, or he's already been president. I don't remember because it's a sitcom, so I don't sit and absorb. I just watch for the jokes. But they're just every episode they're nodding to the fact that he's become president or is running for president or was president. I don't remember which one of the United States. So in 10 years, if he did decide to run, it's already in people's heads. Wasn't he already president? Let's just
And if 10 years from now the climate politically is anywhere close to where it is now, he'd win in a landslide.
He would be the great unifier.
He really would. There's literally not a Republican or a Democrat alive that I could say.
You're not going to burn your Under Armour shoes because The Rock decided to get political.
Like. There's no one that if he ran next cycle he'd win. I mean, he's the fucking Rock, man.
He would, but he's not. I think he's not.
And he's the kind of guy who's doing everything he's already doing in a day, while also probably now spending a few hours a day learning. All right, I want to learn Washington.
If he was really smart, he'd start dumping some of his extra cash into some of these crypto coins and stuff that are like skyrocketing.
Who says he hasn't?
Well, I know. Yeah. I know because that's not necessary. You don't have to reveal that unless you're a public company. Yeah. Could you imagine if The Rock just went public as himself? Like you could buy shares in The Rock.
He's an entire
like the industry of The Rock. They're like $7 brand or whatever it is.
There's just not a whole lot of people that are their own walking economy. Like Rock, Kevin Hart's one.
Of that level, no.
Yeah.
You go to the next level. There's a ton of guys like Elon Musk,
exactly,
and the Microsoft guy.
But Rock's kind of before his story is written, he will be close.
Depends. It depends.
Because he's obviously doing long-term thinking.
He's investing in the right things, but it's not. But it's not that. Like you look, it's like he may have an alcohol, like a drink, but he doesn't have a brewery.
Yeah,
he's not. Someone's still making the real money off of that. He may be a small brand brewery, and they're
But even Elon started with PayPal.
But he took that money and then made his own things. I understand what you're saying.
Rock might come across a fucking astrophysicist who's just like, hey, I got a partnering group. We were thinking about doing this, but we can't fund it.
He's probably already doing it.
Yeah, so, I mean, with a guy that has that kind of influence, that next big decision is a day away.
Yeah.
Because he's always put himself in the position to be in those rooms with those people. And he's in a position.
I think there's like maybe 10 people in the world that might be able to get an audience with almost anybody.
And he's one of them.
He might be. I don't know if if the Ayatollah is going to take a meeting with The Rock as quickly as he finally took one with the Pope.
Yeah.
But who knows? The optics might be good. Yeah, I don't know how many of The Rock's movies have gotten over into Iran, but they may bootleg. They may have been bootlegging the WWE for the last 50 years.
If The Rock becomes president, he'll sit down with the Ayatollah.
Oh, if he became president, yeah, of course.
As
I don't know if he'd sit down with the Ayatollah.
The people's champion, sir.
Yeah. But you still, as the president.
Could you imagine?
As a president, you don't meet with certain country's leaders because you're not acknowledging them.
In 1997, he was a bad Elvis impersonator, calling himself the people's champion, and now we're talking about him being like the guy.
Well, and not to get too mean, but the one family problem, his father, that would have embarrassed him or gotten him into trouble, or gotten himself into trouble, is no longer around. Yeah. So. I mean, the Samoans, everyone's related.
Do they play his father up on the fucking show?
Oh my God. Oh. It's reverential treatment. Like what they do, it's funny.
The Rock's rewriting his legacy.
No, it might be all truthful, but what they do is they hint to his father's flaws in character as like whatever. I mean,
yeah. We know him, so yeah.
Like about being an like for example, overselling the fact that where he's working now. Where in the last episode I saw, he's telling him he's working the college. It's 4,000 people, blah blah blah. He's working the swap shop next to the college, and it's 11 people. So he's overselling things to people and over exaggerating. He's still living his glory days when he's not, and he's like and Rock brings a date, and then she's like unimpressed. And she wants to leave, and he's like, no, this is my dad. It's still my dad. And you're still going to get the same show as if he was in the garden, which is probably true. Yeah. Some of these performers, didn't matter if it was 10 people
with stories all 10, the time. Stories all the time of guys that they look like they can barely make it to the curtain, but once they go through the curtain.
Well, like in the movie The Wrestler, where the guy could barely walk. Yeah. And as soon as music played, as soon as he passed that curtain, he could move like he was 20 again.
Yeah.
And then the second he came back through the curtain again,
he's broken again.
Yeah,
we have the famous Kurt Angle stories. I've seen Terry Funk and Dusty do it.
Yeah. Well,
so
yeah. So they play him up, and obviously they're not going to touch on his biggest flaws. Like I don't know. I don't want to start talking bad about a dead person.
Yeah.
I only know what I saw when I was around him a couple of times.
Same.
But
I think I had more exposure around him than you did.
Probably, but you saw him in a wrestling capacity.
Yeah,
I saw him as in a general he was at my gym, so I just saw him acting kind of shady at the gym all the time. And he was a worker, so he was working people all the time. But I think that he like plays up, he nods to the fact that his dad wasn't a perfect person, doesn't play to the worst stories you could probably tell of his dad, finds the innocuous ones that make him a flawed individual, and then go, but he's my dad and I love him.
Yeah.
Which I guess puts the shine on the Rock. You know? So, cool. I get it. But I feel like they're overdoing it already in 2 episodes.
But he's capable. He's capable of retelling his father's story to an audience that has no idea what he used to be like or anything.
They have no idea who Rocky Johnson is, 99% of them.
And Rocky Johnson isn't alive to go off and crash a car with a hooker in it or some shit and rewrite everything.
Correct. Like in the first episode, they introduce all 3 versions of The Rock.
Yeah.
The young, the like high school, and then the college one at the U. So, and now I think in later episodes, each one will focus on one instead of splitting into 3. So you can tell a little bit of a broader story, a little bit of a bigger story in one setting. But in the first episode, it's like his first day at the U, and he goes to the workout room, and apparently his dad had already come in there earlier that day, and just put his son over like $1 million.
Oh no!
But like in that obnoxious like bragging way, and like lying about him being on a Wheaties box and shit like that. And then The Rock having to come in and deal with his dad's
aftermath,
good intention, total fuck up.
Yeah.
And so it's gonna be interesting. I would love for them to get in some nitty gritty stuff. Like I don't know these stories. I don't know why. I guess I could do research, but I never was interested enough in Rocky Johnson's life or relationship with his wife to know why they're no longer together. Those kinds of things. Like if it was cheating stuff or whatever.
I actually don't know.
Or if someone got in legal trouble or if they just grew apart. I don't know. Yeah. But if it was like a cheating thing, does that even get touched on in a show like this? Probably not.
It seems like it's very lighthearted.
This is that Chris Rock show, the According to Chris or whatever. It's exactly that.
Oh, okay.
I never saw According to Chris, but I've seen like ads for it when it ran, and I get it's exactly the same thing with the narration, from Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Except in this one, The Rock keeps doing these intro and outros to the shows and commercial breaks and stuff. He's being interviewed by Randall Park, the guy from WandaVision and S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff. Not S.H.I.E.L.D., but FBI, Marvel movie stuff.
And Jim from The Office.
Right. I'd never seen that. So yeah, I don't, we'll see. But I definitely, two things. I'm not sure. Well, he's my age, so I will live to see or not see this. Him becoming president, probably. I wouldn't put it past him. I don't know if he wants,
I'd vote for him.
Well, here's the thing. He's like nearing 50 or 50 right now. So how long can you do like superhero shit? And then are you the guy that's going to transition into being a Clint Eastwood type who did the Dirty Harry stuff and then now you're doing these real dramatic roles and stuff? Are you is The Rock capable of that?
You know what? He's a really good actor.
You say that. But has he ever stretched those muscles
here and there? Like
I've never seen him flex.
I remember in Be Cool, he was that really flamboyant.
But I mean, like
the movie with the fucking bodybuilding movie he did with Michael Bay. He was.
But I feel like that's turning some part of what he has in him.
But that's what he
up to 11.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying like a draw, like when you can't do that kind of stuff anymore. When you're in your 60s and you're playing older men. And the roles
I 100%
reduce where you have to do dramatic stuff.
He did that movie where he was just a man. He was just a man. His son got in like trouble.
Oh, Drive.
Yeah. And it's like the only thing that made that movie ridiculous to me was the fact that he's 6'5", 260. It's like if he was
like you're trying to say there's an even field ever.
Exactly. It's like his acting was fine.
Okay.
Like he did a good job, but he's still.
We'll see.
But he's still a behemoth.
We'll see. I don't know if we can't. If two things don't happen, we can't get past a smaller version of The Rock. I think at this point,
I think he'll evolve into that.
I mean, he did once.
He's always going to be a.
Remember, he shrank from his wrestling days.
He's always going to be a bigger guy, though.
And then grew big. Yeah, I understand.
You know.
But the funniest thing would be if he let the Samoan genes take over, and he just got really fucking fat.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Became like the fucking 400-pound, way less muscle version of.
He is way too disciplined for that.
I understand. It would just be. I'm just like now. I'm just in fantasy.
You understand? Like he probably pays people to keep an eye on him about that shit.
No, he doesn't need anybody.
Yeah.
He has gyms wherever he goes. He wakes himself up in the morning. And every meal is, I mean, he's paid for it to have someone have it prepared and ready for him. So like when he's got to eat that 7 times or 8 times a day, it's just someone shows up when they're supposed to show up with a steaming bowl of something, and he just shovels it in.
It's weird trying to explain this to people because people are just like, yeah, well, you got all the money in the world. Like, yeah, he's got all the money in the world, but it still takes a tremendous amount of discipline. Anybody can do what The Rock has done with his body.
Yeah, if I won the lottery, let's say, and I had $50 million in the bank, how motivated am I to get up at 5 in the morning and hit the gym and eat 7 meals of like fucking chicken breast and rice a day just to get big?
Yeah.
I'm no more motivated when I have $50 million fuck you dollars in the bank.
Yeah.
I'm less motivated than if I was like now.
But that time that you spend now thinking about how I'm going to pay for tomorrow doesn't exist anymore. Yeah. You have all this time now.
Well, some people are wired to be productive. And every minute that they're sitting still, they feel useless.
If
and
I didn't
anxious.
if I didn't have to work, if I was paid for it and I could just do whatever I wanted, bro, I'd be in phenomenal shape. But I don't have the time for that kind of shit, which is why I don't even bother, man. I just don't bother because it's like I know what'll happen. I'll start going halfway.
So you're kind of like arguing the opposite side of the story there.
What do you mean?
Well, I said if I had the money, what's the I wouldn't have the same discipline The Rock has to keep doing it.
I would.
He's doing it because it's his business, and I understand what he's doing because he's building a brand, and you see all the stuff under the umbrella, and he's got to stay. He's got to stay The Rock.
Dude, being in great shape is awesome. It's just
I could afford to eat good foods.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like anybody can do that, but it's so much harder. Like the meal prep time for that kind of.
Oh, you're talking a different side of it.
Yeah. Like you have all the time in the world.
We're arguing absolutely opposite things. I think
maybe.
Yeah. Because I'm not even worried about the meal prep and stuff like that. I'm just like, if I have $50 million, why do I need to get out of bed early?
Well, you don't get out of bed early now.
But that's no, I did when I had when I had to earn my money in a truck.
Oh yeah.
How many days was I late?
Maybe once or twice because of the poops.
Yeah, but it wasn't because.
Or that's the thing. If Ben and I were
sick, I were no sick days.
Yeah.
No nothing. You know.
I tell you, I had a bad Crohn's incident at the office the other day. I had a Charm City burger, which I finally had.
This is perfect because I was wondering where our poop story was going to wedge into this.
So to keep true with the rest of our
the week,
the office guy and I, we try a new place every day in Deerfield. So they came around, and I had already had Charm City burger, and let you guys on the thread know that I thought that it was definitely top tier burger, top 5 if it was fresh, maybe top 3. It's that good. And the burger's called the Big Sloppy. It's 2 patties, 2 quarter-pound patties, 4 slices of fucking American cheese, 2 fried eggs, bacon, like a shitload of bacon, and a fucking hash brown. Like a nice fucking hash brown between 2 buns. It's phenomenal. Like, I don't put any ketchup or nothing on it. I just eat the fucking burger. That's how good it is.
I never put ketchup on it.
I mean, I like ketchup on my burger, but so some burgers is like, all right, you're good. You don't need any of that.
It's
nonsense.
like a hanging offense in my book.
Well, like I'll put some ketchup on the Ollie burger at Lum's, but
why would you do that? They put like flavoring on it.
I just like a little bit of ketchup on it, man. That's all. But
this is why I say you're not very Italian.
No, probably. I don't give a fuck.
Very Italian.
Listen.
You're like the hillbilly is strong in you.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah. I spent too much time in Davie.
You flip flop around all the time and with your fucking toes sticking out.
Yeah. So I start to feel the gurgle, and I'm like, and he's like, are you all right? I'm like, you're about to see a very rare thing, and I just I must have shit like 5 times in the span of like 4 hours.
Jesus.
Yeah, and I kept apologizing afterwards because I was like, I don't want them to think that I'm like taking like weird breaks or nothing. Like I have Crohn's, and they took pity on me. Thank goodness. And it wasn't a bad. It just I ate the burger, and the burger's like, oh, that's great, but no more time. You can't do this during business hours annore. I'm like, okay, no more big sloppies during business hours. I understand.
You would think if you have Crohn's that you put something called Big Sloppy inside of you. It's pretty much predicting your future.
But I've been getting away with stuff lately. And that's
your future
the problem.
is Big Sloppy.
The problem is I've been getting away, man. There's this big, great barbecue sauce.
Well, yeah. Now the check is due, pal.
Yeah. The great barbecue place called Papa Sauce right down the street, and it's fucking phenomenal. The problem is I ate it for lunch, and I was like, the rest of the day, I was like, I can't
listen to you much anymore. You're killing me.
Yeah.
I got a steak defrosting. That's all I can eat. Like I'm having like a piece of meat with salt and pepper. That's how fucking like exciting my life is right now.
Get some broccoli in there, man.
No.
No.
All
right.
Doing the carnivore diet for a couple weeks, seeing how it goes.
All right.
I got all these aches and pains. I'm trying to do that elimination diet where you then slowly add things back until you're like, oh, no, I ate that and I feel like shit. Let's take that one back out kind of deals.
Can we talk about how happy I am I didn't pay for the UFC last week?
If you want to. I didn't. I looked. I was at home, and since I think I have your...
You do?
I think...
We
have the ESPN on my PlayStation, and I think the last time we used it, it was logged in for your account.
Yeah.
So I just randomly looked to see if you had bought it, and I saw it was like $89. And I'm like, oh, he didn't buy this. So I just paid attention to the results, and my guy didn't win, so I was like, fuck it.
Yeah. So I'm glad I didn't buy it, mostly because like it was 3 title fights, and I was like, I'm about this, but I'm like, I kind of know how each of these fights is gonna go, and I called everything but the main.
Yeah.
I honestly believed that that Adesanya was going to find a way to win that fight, and
I feel like this was where he had to move up in weight, right? Yeah. He was fighting a high. It doesn't seem like he gained the weight.
He didn't. He showed up at I think he showed up at 200 with a fucking. He was eating pizza on his way to the scale.
200 and the weight is what, 205?
205, which fucking.
So he was probably which like if he wasn't stuffing food and holding shits and chugging water, he was probably like not even. Maybe 200.
Yeah.
I mean, no, under 200.
Jan weighs in at fucking 205, but he fights at like 220.
Yeah.
And watching him, because I watched the fight afterwards, and I was like watching him get worked over. I was like, all right, yeah, I'm kind of glad I didn't buy this, because this is the common sense ending of this story.
But I think he's a guy. Oh, excuse me. I think he's a guy that might try again.
Oh, absolutely! Like
he'll learn from this.
He jumped in. He wanted to see what would happen. He saw what would happen, and he went. Even in his post conference, he's like, "All right, I know what I have to do. Like I'm gonna stay the king down in middleweight, but I will build up to this again." And at this point, Amanda Nunes fighting, you know exactly.
Does it even matter?
It doesn't.
Does it? I'm saying, does it even matter if you are only a winner of one weight division? Does it matter? Or is now your legacy, like to be one of the all-time greats, you have to not even have 2 titles at one time, but be able to conquer 2 divisions? Because let's say you're like, all right, now I'm moving to, like I can't do this two weight class thing at the same time.
Yeah.
But let's say I'm now going to move up or down.
Yeah.
Either way. And then you clear that division out. Is that required now to be one of the all-time greats, or couldn't you have just sat at your weight class, cleared it out, sat there for another 10 years, knocking every up-and-comer out, and still be considered one of the all-time
I think
best?
it really depends on who you are, because some people can't. Some people are either too big to go down, too small to go up, and they're perfect for where they're at.
Right, but then are they, at the end of the day, is their legacy cemented?
I think so.
Even if they sat at that weight for 10 years with the belt, or is it like, well, but he never...
Mighty Mouse.
Yeah, but is he one of the all-time greats?
From a fight fan?
I think at one moment in time they said pound for pound he was the best, but I don't hear that discussion anymore.
Well, it's because he now doesn't fight in America, barely.
That's true,
He doesn't
too.
fight for UFC. So,
that's true.
And the problem with fighting is if you don't fight for the UFC, because a lot of people they don't even know what MMA is like. Oh, you do UFC? That shit is still prevalent
in America.
Yeah,
the rest of the world watches the rest.
And
of the world.
I think the rest of the world probably really appreciates Mighty Mouse for what he can do.
I was just wondering if you
as a fight fan,
if you only fought like at one time, you look at these greats and they were like the king of their weight class. But since some guys have now decided to conquer to it, I guess ever since, what's his name? The wrestler. The one that knocked out Bisping. Right? With the fucked up nose.
Fuck.
Right. Okay, we know who you're the one that used to fight in the old stuff like Pride and whatever. And
Dan Henderson.
Hendo.
Dan Hendo.
He, I feel like he might have been the first of those guys that, like, won 2 belts at 2 different times at 2 different weight classes.
But it's I don't
and started something.
I don't consider.
Wasn't he like the first?
I can't remember who first. I think Randy Couture was first.
Maybe.
But I don't consider fighting now, and I don't compare the fighters now to the fighters then, because the sports evolve so fast. You can't. It's evolved at like 3 speed, you know, over the last 10 years from where it started. Because before 1990, what was it, 3 or 4? Dude, you talk about underground fighting and shit, and you're like, what the like fight clubs and like it was just like, you know, like the strongman shit you used to see on FX.
Yeah.
Just two dudes in a fucking ring, half fucking sober, swinging. The Tank Abbotts of the world.
It was a shit show.
It was a shit show. Dana White turned it into a thing, but from where it started with like the Tito Ortizes and the Chuck Liddells to where it's now, it's just a completely different sport because those guys were great fighters, but against today's mixed martial artists, it's just different because everyone now has this, for the most part, specialists are really hard to find. And if you do, they're really hard to find successful. Most people are very well-rounded fighters now, and that wasn't the case back then. So I make the distinction. So like I think if someone now were to show up and completely dominate a division and never move and just sit there on top of the mountain and go, this is mine, you can come take it if you want. I don't care about the rest because I'm going to be the best right here. I think if there was the right person who was charismatic enough, it wouldn't matter that if they never got champ status. But some people get there, but you'll get there faster. Champ gets you there faster, and that's what Israel. I'll promise you the main reason Israel Adesanya wanted that belt was so he can secure that fucking fight with John Jones because he wants that so bad. But
he's obviously not ready for it.
And not only
John Jones is gonna outweigh him as well.
Recent John Jones showing him weighing in like what's he like 240, 245. I just watched him do.
He's starting to be built like his brothers,
like 450,
in the NFL.
460 deadlifts, and you're just like, sorry, Izzy. Short of a needle in your ass and 6 months of really high-end fucking training, you ain't getting there, buddy. Like, Jones is that's one of the Jones like, you can stop talking about it. It's over. Like, he wants to reign as the heavyweight guy. He wants to be that guy.
Heavyweight's the biggest.
Yeah.
Is always like the title.
Because you could be
in any sport.
You could be the greatest middleweight fighter in the world, world-renowned, everyone loves you, and you're known forever, but the second there's a heavyweight that comes up, it's going to take the shine right off you.
It's funny because it's like you look at these athletes, quote, in the UFC, and like a huge percentage of the roster could not be an athlete in any other sport.
Yeah.
Because they're too tiny.
Yeah.
They're too tiny.
125, buddy. Like, yeah, all right, cool. You'd better be great at this because you don't have a future outside.
Yeah, like how many basketball players or fucking basketball you gotta be tall, but so if you're at that height, you're usually heavier. But basketball or football or hockey players, or even baseball players, are like under 180.
Yep.
Maybe some baseball players are leaning like 160, but.
No, I mean it's.
But But if you can run fast at any other kind of ability other than be able to take a punch to the head, you would want to earn your money in a different sport.
Yeah.
There's no reason to get punched in the face for the peanuts that Dana White pays you on the way up.
Yeah.
As opposed to stealing bases in the MLB and getting a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly.
Or soccer or fucking basketball or any of those sports. They all pay way more than UFC does unless you're the top guy. And the requirements are ones you can't meet. Size, speed, whatever. I mean, like.
And by the way, even the top guys in the UFC, they ain't making top-end football, NBA, or NFL money.
UFC but they're making like low-end NFL money.
Yeah, they are making low-end NFL money. Yes.
This is how you explain it, is that UFC guys don't wash out or retire and then move to the NFL. NFL guys wash out or retire and go to the UFC.
Yeah. And, it's funny because what are we talking now in the draft?
So when you want to compare, sports leagues,
Yeah.
UFC will never be, in my opinion, what these others.
But you know what?
What those other four are.
But you know what? I've always
five with soccer.
I've always thought that Major League Baseball would always be like top string, and like right now, man, NBA, NFL, man, it's not even close. Like,
well, because I'll tell you two reasons. One, there's like a couple reasons. One, I think there's too many games. when you have that many games in a season,
no one cares.
So many of them are irrelevant until you start to narrow the time at the end.
Cut that shit in half.
Like the first half of the season is irrelevant.
Yep.
So game I get, it's fun to go sit at a baseball game if you're at the game. The environment's fun. It's social.
But how many times have we been there where we actually paid attention to the game?
No, none. We're all sitting there chit chatting. But we'll say we had a good time. And the baseball game's going on.
Yeah, we congregated.
We're not like, but none of us are like baseball heads. Where we're like,
I used to be.
We're like we got a piece of paper keeping the score. And
when I was a kid,
and all
when I went to Marlins games as a kid, I used to do that.
But so baseball has too many games that makes each game meaningless, which is why I'm against adding this extra game in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like even one game waters down the importance of all the other games.
Yeah.
They've even started to be smart about scheduling where they put division games at the beginning and end of seasons, or try to, so that there's more at the end of a season. If you've got 3 divisional games, it could have way more impact than if those are resolved earlier in the season. So you've got that. You've got the problems baseball's had, like the steroid thing, and all their superstars were labeled cheaters. Okay, all the stars that got the game big in the 90s were then labeled cheaters, and it's now a struggle to even like acknowledge them for votes for the Hall of Fame. It's like, so you've got a problem there.
I'm on Team Roid Up.
I think their labor union has done a great job for the players, but it's hurt the sport. With these guaranteed contracts where a team has to pay you $200 million even if you're injured, never playing a game again.
Horseshit.
And there was one more. Oh, and I think over the last 30 or 40 years.
To me, it's the unwritten rule nonsense.
I think since MTV.
Yeah.
It's gonna sound weird, but since MTV and the quick cuts and the fast editing or whatever, I think we're wired to have more excitement.
Yeah.
Even TV shows have to be more exciting now. I think that baseball can't match basketball and football for action. In basketball, it's constant scoring. It's constant like highlights and dynamic stuff going on.
In football, the season's so short, you have to pay attention.
Season's so short. Almost every game has dire consequences.
Yeah.
You fall 3 games down at the beginning of the season, you're in big fucking trouble.
Yeah.
You could start the MLB season 1-10.
Yeah.
And no one's fucking even saying anything yet. No one's looking at the coach sideways. Nothing.
No.
Coach, manager. But I think that, and even in football, the action, it's like, yes, you start and stop, but that start, it's collisions.
Yeah.
It's these like spectacular catches. It's these crazy
runs. You start the game with a kickoff.
It's these wild hits. Yeah, all of that. So I think that, it was America's sport or pastime or whatever.
When America was a slower place.
Or before they figured out these other 2 sports. Like basketball's gone through a lot of changes. Football, it's obvious that it's not a running and defensive game anymore.
No.
If it was still like those early fucking years, where it was, where an exciting game was 10-3, I don't think we'd be talking about football as the most popular sport in America. So, but there's not a lot of ways to change baseball to make it more exciting. There's only ways to like quicken the pace or cut some of the delays out.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You got anything else?
I'm good for the day.
We gotta get back to telling stories.
We do. Well, AJ. I'll think of something for next week. I was like, I'm trying, because now we've podcasted now for almost a year and some months now. So it's just like, okay, what's a good story I've never told over the podcast?
You've got a gazillion of them.
I know. I think I'm gonna think back to one of the good cosplay ones.
You brave it up.
A lot of that stuff.
All right, let's
without throwing somebody under the bus accidentally, or maybe on purpose. I don't know.
Listen, man. There's nobody. If you tell the truth.
Yeah. Tell the truth.
If it's 1,000% the truth.
Yeah.
You can name names or don't name names.
Yeah.
If you don't want to name names, fine.
Yeah.
If you do, As long as you told the truth. I mean, it just depends what. Here's more. If it's a truthful story, it's more whether you care whether you hurt their feelings by telling it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
You know?
Fair enough. All right. Well, everyone have a good week. And we will see you next Saturday or Monday.
Yeah, whatever day this airs. I'm so fucking, I don't even know what day it is now.
Okay.
Only reason I knew it was Saturday was because I got a message from you in the morning.
We'll see you all the next time that we do this.
Right. Go to our website, buy some shirts.
Buy the shirt.
Oh, wait. Yeah, actually, I'll mention this. Way in the back of the podcast where no one's listening anymore, that we're running a Uncle Joe Stimi sale in honor of the $1,400 we're getting this week. Next weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all items in our shop are discounted 14%. So if you want to wait, don't buy them now, but definitely visit the website. And we got hats, hoodies, T-shirts, tank tops, Breakfast Club stuff.
Would that be the 19th, 20th, and 21st? Ben?
Probably.
Okay.
If you're looking at a calendar, you can answer that better than I can.
Then yes, next week, the 19th, 20th, and 21st. Or actually, if this airs on a Monday, this weekend, the 19th, 20th, and 21st. 14% off for our
Uncle Joe's Stimi Spectacular
sale.
Stimi Sale Spectacular. Either way.
Yeah.
And go follow us on all our social medias. You can find it. The links are below in descriptions and blah, blah, blah.
You're all smart. Like and share everything.
Yeah. Maybe tell a friend.
All the likes.
Tell a friend.
All the likes. Yes. Tell many friends. You might only have 2, but tell 3.
Yeah.
Make a friend just to tell them.
Well, tell your friend to tell a friend.
Yeah, there you go. Ooh.
The telephone game.
Yeah. We'll be the best pyramid scam this side of the Mississippi.
The telephone game is now called going viral. We're old.
Make us viral, please.
No one wants to do that. All right.
Okay, bye.